First words are the hardest. Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Underrail. Oh no! What did we do in the last video? What did we do in the last video? Man, I don't remember. And it was just yesterday I recorded it. I think we wrapped up a few more odds and ends and a few missed rooms from Upper Underrail. And by that I mean one missed room. And by room I mean an area you can walk in on the map and have adventures or what have you in it. One in Upper Underrail, one in the lower caves, and one in the lower passages. And we are now about as ready as we're going to be for Into the Chort, which is why we are standing outside of it this morning. Lots of talking, which I'm not looking forward to trying to do. The show must go on. We leveled. Oh, no, we didn't do that. We didn't do the thing I just said we did. We explored the Frost Tower, or whatever the heck it's called. Exposed, I think, a little bit to the great outdoors and the outside. Right. It was a frigid exploration, but we managed to make the climb. It really helped that we spected the fire, so we can get rid of the chill, quite literally, by setting ourselves alight, which is what we did, help us climb. We brought back lots of either high mid-level or very close to end game component qualities when we were exploring that area. And I made a bunch of various types of weaponry, electronics, and armor when I got back to our home, and sold a bunch of that stuff for more cash. It was totally worth the time it took for us to explore up there. We also leveled, thanks in part to Frozen Death Stalkers. So, because we just leveled the last episode, we'll go ahead and show our character, just in case you guys have forgotten what we are so far. Which is not a min-max build in any shape, way, or form. We got 8, our highest stats. An effective 9 on agility, thanks to our cave hopper boots. Our skills. We are a hybrid character. We are melee metathermics for the most part. When we leveled last time, we also put 10 points more into temporal manipulation in case we do decide to begin using temporal contraction in the future. I have to make up my mind if we're going to actually use that or not, because the next level we get a feat, and there's a feat which will allow dilation and contraction to last one more turn. I don't want to take that feat unless I plan on using contraction more regularly, which is to say, at all. A part of me likes not using it as a challenge, as it were, but we may end up needing to use it when we get down into the deep caverns, so I have to think about it a bit more. Would have loved to have had Plasma Beam at this point, but I just can't get it anywhere. I don't know where it's located. Maybe we'll find it for sale somewhere here in the Into the Chort. Anyway, we also improved our biology a bit more, allowing us to make more drugs. Yay, drugs. Feats. Nimble. In order to get down our weight by 15 more pounds, we get to ignore 15% of our armor penalty. Sorry, the wrong words were used as usual. This enables us to actually wear armor and still retain most of our movement points as long as it's light armor. And also gives us extra dodge and evasion if our armor penalty is at 0. Paranoia gives us detection, which helps because we don't have very high perception. Also enables us to have 5 more initiative when we roll off against enemies. Reduces the chance that we get critically hit as well, which is nice, because if we take a single critical hit, odds are we're dying or very close to death. Power management. All those delicious energy items that we use have an extra 35% power. This guarantees we die if a EMP blast goes off at us. Things like greater coil spiders will kill us immediately if they get a turn, as we saw last episode, where we just die. That's it. That's the price we pay for more power. Worth it. Arguably. Sprint gives us movement points when we need them. Extra 20? How much is it? 30 movement points for 2 turns. Tranquility. As long as we're not wounded, we have 100 life. 100% of our life is still our life. We're not missing a single hit point. We get to reduce the action point cost of all psionic abilities by 5 points. Weaponsmith. 5% extra crit chance with all weapons we craft. As long as they're not fist weapons. Like, yes, that's it. Escape Artist. If we're rooted, I believe was the old-fashioned term from an age ago during Dark Age of Camelot times. If we're rooted, we can unroot ourselves, so we don't have to worry about being pinned to the ground. We can get away if this is the case. Very useful. Many things like keeping you in place and then slaughtering you. This will be especially true when we get to the Black Sea DLC. Pyromaniac. There's a chance when we use our fire spells that we set something on fire. In particular, it will work with Pyroblast and Pyrokinesis. I've never seen it work on Plasma Beam, but I haven't used Plasma Beam very much because I can't find it. I don't know if it works with Exothermic Aura. Cheap Shots. A small chance that we will incapacitate a target when we whack it with the melee weapon, and our critical damage bonus is increased by 50% with melee weapons. Oh, did I mention Pyromaniac? We set things on fire. When we hit things with fire spells, there's a chance. And if they're on fire, they run around screaming in agony and in fear, which is great most of the time. Robots don't care about being set on fire. They won't run away. Neither will giant mutants, for example. Exposed Weakness. Reduces the target's mechanical resistance and threshold by 50% for 2 turns. This is how we deal with bots or heavily armored enemies. Premeditation. Reduces the action point cost by 100% and the psi cost by 50% of the next psi ability that I use. Also increases the range of that psi ability by 3 spaces. Uncanny Dodge guarantees that the enemy misses us for an equal number of attacks in melee equal to our effective dodge skill, not our actual dodge. This means that if you're wearing armor that improves your dodge, it can give you an extra dodge automatically. This is how we're dealing with melee now, because we have a good amount of movement speed to generally keep away from them, and if we can't keep away from them, this gets used to hopefully keep us away from being whacked in the face. Secondary Flexibility allows us to ignore one of the schools in our head when we cast spells. Normally, because we're using time and fire, or we're using metathermics and temporal manipulation. Because we're using 2 schools, we're penalized by them having an extra 10% costs from our psi pool. This reduces that to 0. 0 extra cost. Future Orientation reduces the cooldown, I think, by 1 turn on all psychotemporal abilities. So, it doesn't say psychotemporal. It says temporal manipulation psi abilities have a cooldown of at all. So I think it means that, for example, our temporal dilation, we can cast it 1 turn quicker. I think it works that way for limited temporal increment as well. We have Hunter, which allows us to do 20% more damage with, as you can see, weapons over there, crossbows, knives, and spears, to critters. Critters are things like cats, worms, the little worms crawling around in, in Foundry, or cave hoppers, things that aren't really dangerous, and a single hit will generally kill them. This will make it so that a spear hit will kill them. Naval Combat, I'm not going to read all that. It just helps us when we're on jet ski. We need Psi Empathy to cast Psi spells. We got this by swallowing the red pill. Also reduces our hit points by 20%. And we took Increased Will for 2 extra points of will when we hit level 26. Finally, for our specializations, Exposed Weakness lasts 1 more turn. Premeditation has 1 less turn before we can use it again. And Pyromaniac increases the fire damage we deal by 45% if we set something on fire. Alright, I'm going to put a break here. Alright. Let's turn in... let's not quite turn it in. I don't think I made anything new since we last talked, viewer, other than some drugs. I made a few more psi reinvigorators, bringing us up to 4 of them. I made some trances. I'm probably not going to use them because we're not a mania psi user. I forget what it's called now. When we were leveling, we had a choice of taking Tranquility or another feat. This other feat would guarantee we get a critical hit. But if we took that, if we activate it, but if we took that feat, no, there's a different, no, ignore me. I don't know what it is at the moment. I think it's Psimania is what it's called, though. In any case, this improves, as you can see, this critical damage bonus of our Psi abilities by 100%. But also increases their cost by all Psi abilities by 20% for 5 turns. We're not really a crit guy, so we would want to make a better or different Psi headband, which increases our critical chance if we want to use Trance to increase our critical damage, which I think is probably what we'll want to do. You guys may have noticed that we actually have a few super health hypos as well over here. I can't believe that I'm looking at this thinking it's good, because it's 150 health points, which in normal mode is how much your advanced health hypos heal. This normally heals 200, I think, health points, or more than that. In any case, I have a few of them now. I think that's it. I currently have equipped our efficient medium shield emitter in case things go wrong during the interview we're about to have. And with all that said, I'm going to reload the game. This way we get back 5 minutes on my bacon cheese sandwich. And now, let's begin. Yes. Is this the figurine you're looking for? Yes. Yes! That is the figurine, all right. Where did you find it? In the big shopping mall west of here. You were right all along. The lunatics were the ones responsible for its theft. Unexpectedly, Denzel falls silent. He looks like he wants to say something, but perhaps he can't find the right words. Hold on. I know what you're thinking. You never thought I would be able to find and bring you the damn figurine. You just wanted me to leave you alone. Yes and no. Mostly, yes. Look, I don't owe you an explanation. Listen. You did us a great favor. That is undeniable. It's just that I didn't really expect you to be able to accomplish the given task. That is all. I'm just astonished. But you figured that out for yourself as far as I can see. I hope our deal still stands. You will not get this figurine otherwise. A deal's a deal. Hand me the figurine, and then I'll go inside and discuss your request with my superiors. It stays with me until you come back. You go and talk to your superiors first, then you'll see the figurine again. The Rassifors around you turn towards you, and you feel the atmosphere beginning to heat up again. Denzel, surprisingly, cools it back down with a single hand signal to his subordinates. I suppose that is acceptable. But don't leave the courtyard. I'll return soon. Just as he goes to leave, he turns back to you again. Wait a moment. I never caught your name. Tim. Tim. Alright, Tim. Wait in front of the Institute. Here. I'll be back as soon as I talk to someone. Just be patient. Short guide you. You wait. And you wait. And as more time passes, you begin to wonder if Efriator Denzel is actually going to come back. After all, I couldn't wait to get rid of you the first time you talked. But then you remember that strange metal figurine is still in your hands, the one the Chortists want so badly. You begin thinking about this strange piece of metal, about what awaits you ahead. However, your thoughts are soon interrupted by footsteps following a hurried rhythm you have already heard before. It is Efriator Denzel. Tim. I have talked to the mediant and explained the situation to him. Therefore, the official word is as follows. You will be allowed to enter the Institute building, be interviewed, and if deemed fit, you will be offered Institute of Chort membership. All that in exchange for the figurine you possess. Speaking of which, I would like to take it now. Then I'll lead you inside. Can you finally tell me what the deal is with this figurine? Why is it so important to you? It is part of a larger collection which is being assembled in celebration of the Institute of Chort's 100th anniversary. Indeed, Foundry was commissioned to create this beautiful work of art and send it to us. After some unfortunate delays, it was due to finally arrive. But the carriers of the figurine were intercepted. I was tasked to mobilize troops to retrieve it. That's exactly what I did, with your help. Soon it will be back in Aiden's hands, as it should be. Happy? Now, if you let me have the figurine, I'd be glad to show you the interview room. All right, I'm ready. Take this. Effiator Denzel slowly picks up the figurine and scrutinizes it. Despite the fact that his face is covered with the mask, you are certain that a pleased grin lurks beneath it. His admiration doesn't last for long, though. He looks at you and signals you to follow him. Follow me. Get inside. The Praepostor will be with you shortly. The room you are in made you claustrophobic and uneasy from the start. Not necessarily by the fact that the room is indeed small, but by how small your pool of options becomes should something unwelcome occur. You have prepared yourself for the worst, knowing that you will be in an unfamiliar place where anything is possible and can go awry. Well, seeing this beautiful woman dressed in a black robe which almost inappropriately flows over her feminine features, assenting them even for the blind to see, was most certainly not what you were expecting. Before we continue this, two things, or maybe even three. The first time I did this, I fell for it, and I was unable to make progress through the Institute with it hostile to me. This was with Garrett a long time ago, and I had to reload the game, and then we had to try it again. Number two, with Gabriel, we didn't care. We slaughtered the entire Institute of Chort to make our way to the ending of the Institute, as it were. I can say that given the two options of working with the Institute or not, that it is by far, obviously, more difficult to fight your way through the Institute than it is to work with them. This is in part due to the elevator at the very end of the Institute, in which you have to not only defeat all the Chortists, you have to deal with the incoming invasion at the same time. They don't care that you're helping them, they just want everyone wiped out in the Institute. The elevator battle is so difficult, without stealth to help you there, that I don't know if I'm willing to bring another character through the Institute in combat mode, but maybe far into the future, assuming I'm still alive, we will do that again. Alright. But I did really like going through with Gabriel. That was fantastic, slaughtering these heathens. Let's pick up where we left off. The deathly robe envelops her arresting face like black oil being spilled over a shiny lump of gold. Her striking opaline-colored eyes immediately meet yours. Her smooth face, free of imperfections, seems like it has been crafted out of marble by several of the finest artists in existence working together. Her golden hair, mostly concealed by the sinister hood, still manages to gently flow out of it and present its luxuriance. I know a girl who would probably meet most of this description, only her hair was black, not blonde. She looked like a Greek statue. I don't think she was Greek, though. Very, very, very beautiful girl, and a very good boxer in the Wii sports games. Her voice is much akin to her appearance. It, too, has a distinct, seductive charm. It resonates with appeal and warmth, and while being mostly level, it never becomes monotone nor boring. Chort is evolution. I would like to welcome you to the Institute of Chort, postulant. My name is Amelia, and I am the Institute's Praepostor. Your name is Tim, if I'm not mistaken? That is correct. It's a pleasure to meet you, Praepostor. She gives you a soft smile. The pleasure is mutual, Tim. Despite the current situation, you have somehow managed to find yourself before me. The Effitor was very convincing when he spoke to the rest of us about your deeds. Know that we are making an exception for you, just for you. For I'm sure the Effitor told you our institution is not accepting new members. Now, I'd like to ask you several preliminary questions, general in nature, before we advance this interview. So, you are interested in joining the Institute of Chort and becoming a Chortist. Is that correct? That is correct, Preposter. I would be delighted to join your organization if you'd be willing to accept me. Tell me something of yourself, Tim. Where are you from? I'm from Southgate Station. Can you tell me what guides you through life? What motivates you? Try to give me a concise answer. Exploring, for the most part, and the challenges that brings is what I think would motivate Tim here. 5 is not correct. 4 is not correct. 3 is not correct. I don't agree with 2 100%, but it's the closest to the correct answer. 1 is also acceptable. Either of those work. Let me flip a coin and see which one we're going to choose. With head, we'll choose 1. Tails, we'll choose 2. Heads, 1. My unquenchable thirst for knowledge guides me through life. I live to know more, and knowing more allows me to live on. Interesting. And you feel that, with that philosophy in mind, joining the Institute of Chort is the right decision? I believe so. You believe so? And how much exactly do you know about the Institute of Chort and the general ideology of Chortism? I had attended one of Minister Percival's lectures in Core City and was fascinated by what I heard during it. That was one of the main reasons I decided to come here. If you don't attend that lecture, I don't believe you get that answer, which is why I try to make sure I always attend that lecture before I complete that main quest line. Very good, Tim. Minister Percival is one of our finest propagators, and I'm sure his lecture was very insightful. Still, allow me to elaborate our ideology, just to make sure you are familiar with, at least for now, its main principles. Afterwards, you will have to make one final choice of joining your institution or not, if you are still willing. The Institute of Chort is an institution dedicated to the study and celebration of Chort, a primordial being that was discovered in deep caverns nearly 100 years ago by Aiden, the founder of this institution, as well as Chortism. What he had discovered then and there was magnificent. The creature had been undergoing a unique cycle of regeneration. It was completely formless, changing and adapting to its current environment. Since Aiden was and still is the only person that can communicate with Chort, he was able to study it and uncover what secrets it holds within its magnificent genome. He learned that Chort holds the key to evolving the human race to new heights. One day, perhaps, through directed evolution, as Aiden originally named it, humankind will hopefully find a way to adapt to the life on the surface and escape this gloomy underworld. Principally, Chort represents two things: the physical being and the knowledge it holds. Consequently, Chortism, being guided by Chort, aims to direct human evolution with its help. In essence, that is who Chortists are and what we stand for. Which brings us to the next question. Tell me, Tim, do you still stand by your previous decision? Do you still wish to become a member of the Institute of Chort? If your answer is positive, then we can finally start with the second phase of the interview. I haven't changed my mind. We can proceed. She smiles. Very good. I'm pleased to hear that, even though that is the answer I expected from you. Now allow me to explain what happens next. I'm going to be asking you a set of questions. Simple questions that require no hard thinking, only honesty. You will answer these questions and any sub-questions that might arise during the process. Don't worry, this won't take long. Let's begin with the first question. Oh. Oh, it would help if I wasn't muted. Hello, hello, everyone. All right, let's say this again. I'm expecting a call back from her. That was the nurse navigator checking up on me to make sure I'm still alive because of COVID. As you may or may not know, I'm going through chemotherapy for cancer, and COVID messes up your immune system to the point where my oncologists want to make sure I'm okay and may bring me in for some infusions if they deem it necessary and push out my consolidation for a little bit. So they're discussing this at the moment. I feel, believe it or not, much better today than I have over the past few days, although I might not sound that way to you guys. But I don't feel that congested. I have this awful cough, which you guys have heard, but the cough is what I call a recovery cough. At the tail end of whatever illness I have, I get this itch in the back of my throat, which is persistent. It causes a dry cough for me, which causes my muscles to contract, and I'm in a lot of pain because I don't do any push-ups, crunches, or the like. And so this is the coughing is like the only exercise I get for my my chest and stomach, which causes a lot of agony when I just want to stop coughing. But the itch causes me to do nothing but cough at night. It's very frustrating. In any case, hello. I apologize because I'm expecting more phone calls as this day goes forward. They will interrupt any recording I do. I still want to record. We'll just have to put up with it. I apologize for how professional I am. Let's keep playing. Have you been sent here knowingly to injure Chortism? No. She looks at you a bit longer than usual, after which she writes something on the paper. Next question. How do you feel about Chortism? I think it makes a lot of sense. And, well, let's put it this way. I wouldn't be here if I didn't think it was worth my time. Very good. Next question. Do you think there is anything wrong with having your privacy invaded? Yes, I oppose the idea. Why? I feel that invading one's privacy creates a base for exploitation and control by a more powerful entity. Interesting. Next question. Have you ever been a drug addict? No. Next question. Have you ever killed anyone? Only when it was necessary. Are you upset by this questioning? No, why would I be? Do you hope you won't be found out? What do you mean by that? Just answer the question you were asked. I have nothing to hide. That's my answer. She crosses her arms and observes you, occasionally moving her head from left to right and vice versa. Before you get a chance to break the silence, she uncrosses her hands and asks the next question. Have you ever smothered a baby? What? No! What kind of sick person would do something like that? You'd be surprised what different breeds of people come here. Have you ever eaten human flesh? Not knowingly. Would you be willing to sacrifice the lives of several innocent people to save one dear to you? No. I see. Have you ever felt that there is another creature in your body? No. Did you ever hurt yourself? Only if my grenades land too close. Otherwise, no. A barely visible quirk appears in the corner of her mouth, threatening to manifest itself into a real, honest smile. Sadly, it lasts but for a fraction of a second. Have you ever been a spy for anybody? You better answer no to this, because otherwise, this is it. Actually, several of the options we've had could have ended with us not getting any further, as it were. Or getting further, but we would have to kill her and anyone else who shows up. No. Preposter Amelia looks at the paper, inspecting all the notes she took during the interview. Afterwards, she puts it away and gives you the familiar too long for comfort stare. Luckily, it ends with a pleasant smile. Very good, Tim. Very good. Those are all the questions I had for you. Now, I'd just like to ask you to give me a sample of your blood and wait patiently for me to return. Can I ask what for? It is something all none... I can't pronounce this. It's something all new initiates must undergo, considered a kind of initiation. There are two primary reasons for this. First, it's a tradition that has a symbolic meaning. You give but a small part of yourself to Chort, and in turn, Chort will give you means to adapt and evolve to a whole new height. Second, we test blood of all postulants for health-related reasons. We don't wish for any surprises. The process is simple and quick. You'll only feel a little sting. Okay. I have no objections to that. Professor Amelia pulls out a strange device. It looks like a large black ornamented syringe with a see-through tube and has tiny metal tentacles climbing towards the needle, twisting around the device. She inserts the needle into your flesh. Externally, you feel but a little sting. Internally, you feel your heart pounding faster and faster. Fortunately, the procedure is over quickly. She pulls out the needle with a smile, and the syringe is now full of your blood. She places a gauze on the wound before stepping away. I kind of wish that, like, by you doing this, it would improve Chort, the battle, in some capacity. Everything that you would do here would make Chort that much stronger if you decide to take the, quote, easy way, quote, through the Institute. Well, that was... Oh, sorry. Wow, that was a weird one. That is all I need. Please wait for me while I return, Tim. It won't take too long. Congratulations, postulant. Or should I say... Neonite. You have been selected. Therefore, you have been granted membership to the Institute of Chort. I suspect you are tired. It was a long and challenging day for you, I'm sure, so I will give you a very brief rundown of what awaits you within the Institute. As of now, you are a Neonite, a new member of the Institute of Chort, whose first task is to familiarize himself with Chortism, obtain necessary knowledge, and find his place within the institution. We offer many means to do so, but we will get to that later. The next thing I must tell you about is the three main divisions of the Institute of Chort: Preservation, Investigation, Propagation. Each of these three divisions has a specific purpose. Preservation exists to protect or preserve Chort, Iden, the Institute, and all of its members, and prides itself with its highly trained and well-equipped individuals. Investigation, on the other hand, concerns itself with obtaining, organizing, and applying knowledge, studying Chort and the world around us with the ultimate goal of driving, directing human evolution towards a better future. Finally, propagation exists to educate or propagate said knowledge both within the Institute of Chort as well as beyond. I hope you're following me so far, Tim. Neonites are free to select what suits them best. After they have studied enough and made up their mind, they can select anything they liked and perform their part within the Institute of Chort. Currently, since propagation is undergoing an internal restructuring phase, becoming an acolyte at this stage is highly improbable, so investigation or preservation are divisions I would direct you to for the time being. Of course, if you are really patient and willing, propagation too will open its doors to you at some point. A few more principal things before I finally let you go and rest. As a member, you are granted your own bed in the Institute's sleeping quarters, and a personal locker for your belongings. Also, your medallion and your robe have already been placed in it. Now you can find the quarters by going down the right set of stairs, just after entering the main hall. Opposite of that, left from the entrance, is the refectory. I think you might be more familiar with the term canteen. Institute Library, Iden's library, is at the second floor to the left. It is probably the most important place for Neonites. This is where you can read about our history, scientific works, and most importantly, read the original report. That sounds really important. It describes Iden's first encounter with Chort, his thoughts and impressions, and documents the beginning of his research. It is an essential read for every Chortist. Again, Ein's Library should be one of your first stops. While we are on the subject of the library, I must add this. The old destroyed section of the West Wing has recently been reopened by preservation forces. A Rassifor expedition was dispatched there. It is extremely dangerous, and while it's guarded by Rassifors, I must still warn you to avoid it until after it has been sealed again. My head's going to explode from all that information. One more thing and we are done. Official greetings and manner of address. When first starting a conversation with any members of the Institute of Chort, it is a custom for the speaker to first say, Chort is evolution, to which the other party replies, evolution is Chort. The meaning of the greeting is clear, I hope. Commonly, you may refer to Chortists as brother or sister, based on their gender, but if they hold a higher title, a certain notability, then you should address them appropriately. This is already too much information for you. In time you will learn everything. You are free to go and get some rest, brother. If you have more questions, ask now, or find me in my office at the top level. I'd be glad to answer all the questions you may have had about the Institute of Chort. No, that's all I need to know for now. Thank you, Professor Amelia. Well then, welcome to the Institute of Chort, brother, and Chort guides you. Okay. According to the bacon and cheese sandwich, it only took 2 minutes, but I think we've been playing for closer to 40 minutes. It certainly feels that way. Okay. Chort is evolution. Welcome to the Institute of Chort, everyone. I love the music here. It feels very eerie, which it should. We are here to take all their Stygian coins off of their bodies. We're going to make our way to our room and give it a look over. And then I think I will have to call it. There are no, to my knowledge, random encounters inside the Institute, by the way. Everything here is fixed. And yes, we're going to pick everyone's pockets on the way. So we were told that where we want to go is down the flight of stairs that we are kind of facing at the moment. Scophathor. Meet combatant. Rossifor. There must be some language that uses their names in real life. I am unfamiliar with it. I'll have to look it up between episodes and see. This guy has a grenade launcher, I see. Chortist Minister. Don't mind us, miss. We're here just for your pockets. We will administer what's in them to ourselves. Acolyte and one more Chortist. They do a lot of standing around, just, waiting all day. It must be really boring being a guard, just standing here in this room. Pretty much all day, endlessly. I get bored. Out of my mind. God, I would want something to do. Alright, down this way. Like the core city, you don't get an individual map of the Institute. Someone's eating some mushroom salad. Hey, Chortist. Blistering tentacles. What are you doing here? Your room was unlocked. I don't care what you want. I care about you leaving me alone. All right, sure. We'll just search your pockets first. A morphine shot. That's really useful. Thank you. They're not red. What is it? I'm gonna search your pockets. Sorry for interrupting you. A 127 quality polarizer. I've been looking for one of these for a while, just so I could improve the wealth of a the value of a laser or energy weapon I wanted to make just for some cash. Thank you. We'll put that to great use. Oh, it looks like I'm actually ready to play Builders, given the spear I'm using. There is no gambling. There is no mini games in this to play, as it were. So we don't get to play Builders, unfortunately. Shh! You're distracting me. Is it your turn? Looks like neither of you are doing anything. Mrs. Standing here. Never play a game of pool with Raj. That must be who she's playing against. Or with. Oh, she can keep her food. That's fine. I did not bring any stealth gear, and I have no intention of stealthing through the Institute. So a good amount of the rooms are going to remain unexplored. Oh! We took the wrong thing. I took the cardboard box off of him. So let's put that over here instead. Showers. Hey, okay, that's a cough suppressant that's just been ordered for me. I want to go and go and get that later. Thank you, doctor. Tortoise Priophore. Hello, old Tortoise. Trot guide you, son. Yes. Trot will help me. Huh? You said something, son? Aw. Poor old mother. Oh my goodness. Oh. I feel really bad. I mean, it's a video game. This doesn't matter at all, as I've mentioned multiple times in the past. But as someone who needs morphine well, not needs morphine. Someone who has needed painkillers in the past to get through a day. I see 4 morphine shots, and it's tough to take them. But you can't split them during a pickpocket. So I will take them. Okay. Oh, that's rough, Tim. Jordists. We have 2 more of you. Lazy Lao. That would be our bunkmate, if I recall correctly. Oh, and we're not allowed to open any lockers. Oh, God. Okay. As long as we don't take anything, it's okay. I forgot about that. Let's quick save. Our robe and our medallion. An old bald man welcomes you with a wave and a wide smile. He wears dark glasses which perfectly conceal his eyes. In turn, his smile reveals more than it perhaps should. You notice the man to be almost completely toothless, yet those few teeth still clinging on somehow allow him to speak with surprising clarity. Unfortunately, they do nothing to save his interlocutor from receiving a spit shower every time he opens his mouth, as it happens to you right now. Torches Evolution, brother! I'm Lazy Lao. That's what they call me. I didn't plan on taking a bath yet. Wipe the spit off of you. Tim is the name. Damn it! I'm sorry. Some miserable bandit knocked my teeth out and robbed me as I was going toward the Institute. In hindsight, I should have taken the train, but my inner cheapskate ended up leading me into a very nasty situation. Anyway, I'll try not to spit at you, bedmate. Bedmate? Yeah, this is our bed. He points to the double bed next to him. See? This is our bed, bedmate. I've been sleeping alone for 2 weeks, and now I have a bedmate. Oh, you want top or bottom? I slept top so far, but if you want top, I'll go bottom. Bottom. You stay on top. Well, I'm not really picky. I'm a power bottom. Whatever you wish, bedmate. Now you want to chat? Yeah, sure. Why you call lazy Lao? Are you really that lazy? Nah, I'm not lazy. My left eye is. As soon as he finishes the sentence, he removes his shades with an elegant, overemphasized motion, closing his eyes as if he wanted to prolong the moment of revelation as much as possible. Then he slowly opens his right normal eye, pauses, then opens his left one, the bad one. You look at it. It does not look at you. It is slammed so far to the left like it wants to escape the socket and see what lies behind the head. Lazy Lao laughs in his usual toothless fashion, this time spiced up with the laziest eye you've ever seen. Create a unique image you're unlucky to ever forget. I have some friends in real life who have really lazy eyes where they, all you see is the white of their eye when they're looking at you, and one of the eyes is like looking at the back of their head. It took a bit to get used to, but now whatever, you know, this is, you deal with it. He puts the shades back on. And that's why they call me Lazy Lao, bedmate. Why did you join the Institute Chort? Well, bedmate, let me put it to you this way. If there was a chance you could, how should I say, escape the life of poverty, filth, disease, and a couple of lone hounds waiting to skin you, would you take it? Of course you would. You have a point there. Let me ask you something else. Sure. How are you liking the Institute Chort after spending some time here? I'm loving this place more and more with every passing day. Once you get used to a few things, everything being clean is one of those. And as you learn more about Chortism, you start realizing how apex it all really is. I have no doubt that Chortists are really trying to direct the evolution of mankind towards something greater. Look at recompense, for example. Yeah, that's the next step. All in all, I want to be a part of that. I'm happy to be a part of that. Chort is truly something great. Chort is evolution, bedmate. Alright. Chort guides you, Lazy Lao. Chort guides you, bedmate. I don't think you get him to stop calling you bedmate. We're not going to need that robe. I've occasionally thought about leaving it equipped, just for the thematic reason of it. If we were given an actual Chortist robe, I might wear it around here, but we were not given such. Did I pick his pocket? I can't remember. Let's find out really quick. We did not. I'll take a advanced repair kit, and I'll take his $9. Take that, bedmate. Alright, guys, I gotta get some lunch. I guess let's first stop by the medical wing. Gir Franz is here. Alright, well, let's see what's in his pockets first. A single lake poppy, some Stygian coins. Can we get both of these? We can. An unexpectedly tiny and shy voice comes out to this lofty man. While he is loud enough for you to hear him, you can't shake off the feeling that the sound of a humble fly gliding into the room would overpower his voice. Fortunately, nothing similar happens during his introduction. Chortist evolution. My name is Gir Franz, and I'm an investigator of medicine at the Institute's proto-physician. You must be Tim. Usually our fellow Chortists refer to me as I am, to which I have no objection. Now, how may I help you? How and why did you join the Institute Chort, Mr. Franz? That's a long story. Go on, I have some time. I became a Chortist about 7 years ago, either in year 92 or 93, one of the two, and it was all due to a single fortunate event of me meeting with a former colleague of mine who had just returned from South Underrail, where he was on some, private business of his. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I'm from North Underrail, and the meeting also took place there, in Dis, to be precise. Thomas Harding, the man I spoke with, informed me how dreadful the living conditions were in the South, a persistent and ever-growing bandit menace, poverty, as well as the rise of violent sports in Core City. Naturally, the bottom line is that the South is a place of decadence and should be avoided at all costs. Except, there was one thing he mentioned in a positive light. The Institute Chort. He had the, in his words, pleasure to speak to several Chortists during his stay here in Upper Underrail, and in fact, one of those Chortists was none other than Minister Percival himself, assistant minister back then. Tom was impressed by what he learned about the body of knowledge the Chortists possess and their intentions of changing, evolving the human future. He also told me about the duality of Chort. One side is the physical side, the being itself, and the other is the knowledge obtained through scientific methods. The only way possible, really. I still remember Tom's words, explanations, and praises of the Institute of Chort. The first time he told me about Chort itself, and especially due to his fantastic way with words. It floored me. Magnificent Chort. I was astonished. Of course, all that sparked my imagination, and I decided I had to come to South Underrail. So I did. I still remember seeing the Rassifors at the entrance, all glorious in their beautiful robes. Sure, it was unusual. Once you understood the purpose of such an appearance, it all makes perfect sense. You know what happened next, brother. I became a proud Chortist, and still am to this day. Chort is evolution. Thomas seems very impressed with Chortism. Where is he now? Did he also join the Institute? Jean-France's face turned sour. Tom was unfortunately mortally wounded soon after we spoke. Free drone's bombing attack. Many were killed by those corrupted, inbred, dystrophic... Ugh. Had he lived a bit longer, I'm sure he would have joined me here. I'm positive. I'm sure he deserved it if he was bombed by the free drones. What do you think of the Faceless? Foul, corrupted beings. Ugh. I sympathize with the core city residents who have to endure being close to such disgusting creatures. Chort helped them. In the end, the augmented monstrosities will die out eventually, while completely natural beings like us will live on. For it is the superior design. Proven. We're going to purchase some medicine. I can help you with that, brother. I'll show you what I have. You have to unlock each individual merchant here in the Institute in order to access their inventory, obviously. What do you have here? Any drugs we don't know? Nope, we know all this already. We already know stasis. I don't need any drugs that you're selling. I will sell some of these. In our locker at home, I have close to 100 advanced health hypos and a similar number of psi boosters. I think it's like, actually not that many. It's like 60 of each. So I'm slowly selling them when I can. You sell amples? You do. Alright guys, now I will take a break. So, when we come back, we'll explore more of the Institute.